Today I'm going to show you a 2016 zombie horror film titled Train to Busan. Spoilers ahead, so watch out and take care. The movie starts with a truck approaching a quarantine zone. The vehicle is disinfected by personnel, and the driver asks about the situation. He's told there was a minor leak in the biotech district, but it's not a big deal. As he drives off, distracted by his phone, he accidentally hits something on the road. He gets out to check and finds he's hit a deer. After confirming his truck is fine, he leaves the deer on the road. But moments later, the deer miraculously comes back to life, its eyes now glowing with an eerie, unnatural light. We're then introduced to our main character, 𝐄𝐍𝐉𝐻𝐾, a fund manager who's deeply immersed in his work. He's on a call with a client, discussing stock sales when he notices a news report about mass fish deaths in a reservoir. He quickly orders his assistant to sell all stocks related to that company. Later, as he parks his car, we learn more about his strained relationship with his young daughter, Suwon. He argues with his ex-wife on the phone about Suwon's upcoming birthday. Suwon wants to visit her mom in Busan, but 𝐄𝐍𝐉𝐻 is hesitant to let her go alone. At home, 𝐄𝐍𝐉𝐻's mother welcomes him. He finds Suwon in her room, talking to her mom on the phone. When Suwon notices her father, she abruptly ends the call. 𝐄𝐍𝐉𝐻 sits beside her, trying to persuade her to wait a week so he can take her to Busan himself, promising that he'll be less busy by then. He even gives her an early birthday present, but it turns out to be something she already owns. A clear indication of how distant he's become. Suwon, disheartened, insists she wants nothing but to see her mom and that she can go alone if it's too much trouble for him. Later, 𝐄𝐍𝐉𝐻 has a conversation with his mother about Suwon. She advises him to reconcile with his ex-wife for Suwon's sake, reminding him that this is a crucial time in her life. Before leaving, she hands him a camera with a recording of Suwon's school recital, which he missed. As 𝐄𝐍𝐉𝐻 watches the video, he sees the sadness in Suwon's performance and realizes how much he's been neglecting her. This prompts him to change his mind, and he decides to take Suwon to Busan himself. As they drive to the station the next morning, 𝐄𝐍𝐉𝐻 tries to turn the recital into a life lesson, advising Suwon to always try her best. However, he's distracted and almost hits an ambulance on the road. They pull over and watch as a convoy of emergency vehicles speeds by, and Suwon notices something strange falling from the sky, a foreshadowing of the chaos to come. At the station, the train to Busan is preparing to depart. The conductor gets ready in his cabin, and the attendants make their final preparations. Among the passengers are a baseball team, led by their coach, who tells them to settle down. The team cheers as one of their cheerleaders, Jin-hee, enters. Meanwhile, 𝐄𝐍𝐉𝐻 and Suwon board the train. 𝐄𝐍𝐉𝐻 makes a quick call to his office, reassuring them that he'll be back before lunch. Just as the train is about to leave, an injured girl rushes aboard, unnoticed by most. As the train departs, Suwon witnesses a man being attacked by another man outside the station, though she doesn't fully grasp what she's seeing. Inside the train, the injured girl stumbles through the cars unnoticed until she collapses. About a man who's been hiding in the bathroom since boarding. 𝐄𝐍𝐉𝐻, curious, goes to check out the situation. The man inside the bathroom, in a state of panic, keeps muttering that everyone is dead, but the attendant dismisses it as nonsense. Meanwhile, Suwon, needing to use the restroom, encounters Sang-hwa, a tough but kind man who's guarding the door for his pregnant wife, 𝐵𝐷. He tells Suwon to use another bathroom further down the train. At the same time, the bitten girl, now convulsing, is found by a female attendant who immediately calls for medical help. The situation quickly spirals out of control when the girl transforms into a zombie and attacks the attendant. The chaos escalates as the infection spreads rapidly through the train. The baseball team is one of the first groups to be attacked, and panic ensues as passengers realize what's happening. 𝐄𝐍𝐉𝐻, in the midst of searching for Suwon, witnesses the horror unfolding. He and Suwon manage to escape to another cart, where they find Sang-hwa and 𝐵𝐷 also fighting for their lives. Together, they manage to seal themselves in a safe cart, but not before witnessing the brutal transformation of many passengers into zombies. 𝐄𝐍𝐉𝐻 quickly deduces that the zombies are triggered by sight and suggests covering the glass doors to keep them at bay. This temporary solution buys them some time as the train speeds toward its next stop. The conductor announces that they won't be stopping at the next station, leaving the passengers in a state of uncertainty. 𝐄𝐍𝐉𝐻 receives a call from his mother, who is worried but trying to stay calm. As they talk, she begins to turn into a zombie, and 𝐄𝐍𝐉𝐻𝐾 is forced to confront the grim reality that his mother is gone. As the train approaches its next stop, the passengers brace themselves for what's to come. The station is eerily quiet, with no sign of the military who were supposed to be there to protect them. 𝐄𝐍𝐉𝐻 overhears a conversation revealing that the station might not be safe and decides to take Soo-an through a different exit. They're followed by a homeless man who overheard their plan. Meanwhile, Sang-hwa, Sung-kyung, and the others begin to suspect something is terribly wrong as they descend the escalator into the station. Their fears are confirmed when they're met by a horde of zombies, the remains of the military who were supposed to protect them. A desperate fight for survival ensues as the group tries to make their way back to the train. 𝐄𝐍𝐉𝐻 and Soo-an manage to escape the initial onslaught thanks to the homeless man's quick thinking. Sang-hwa, showing incredible strength and determination, fights off the zombies while carrying his pregnant wife to safety. Back on the train, the situation becomes even more dire as the survivors realize they must fight their way through several cars filled with zombies to reach safety. They devise a plan, using tape to protect their arms from bites and preparing for a brutal confrontation. The group, led by Sang-hwa, Jung-kook, and 𝐄𝐍𝐉𝐻, battles their way through the zombie-infested cars, each encounter more harrowing than the last. One of the most intense moments comes when the train enters a tunnel, plunging the cars into darkness. The zombies, unable to see their prey, become disoriented, allowing the survivors to slip past them. However, the victory is short-lived as they face betrayal from within their own ranks. Yeon-suk, a selfish businessman who has been looking out only for himself, convinces the other passengers to barricade the door, refusing to let the group into the safe car. Tragedy strikes as Sang-hwa sacrifices himself to save the others, holding back the zombies long enough for them to break through the barricade. When the group realizes what's happening, they lock him outside. In a final act of desperation, one of the passengers, driven by panic and fear, opens the door from the inside, allowing the zombies to surge in. The zombies flood into the cart, overwhelming the survivors. Jung-kook and the others struggle to fend them off, but the situation quickly becomes dire. The conductor, watching the chaos unfold, he urgently tells the survivors that the current train is blocked by barriers at the next junction and advises them to quickly transfer to another train ahead. Meanwhile, the remaining survivors board the train cart and they watch as the zombies fall behind. But their relief is short-lived as the train derails. Jin-hee and Jung-kook fall to their deaths as the remaining survivors are trapped in the wreckage. 𝐄𝐍𝐉𝐻, determined to protect Soo-an at all costs, makes it into the safe car but is bitten in the process. He gives Soo-an one final message of love before locking himself outside. Realizing he's doomed, he makes a heartbreaking decision to sacrifice himself to save his daughter. As the train speeds toward Busan, the remaining survivors are left to face the final horrors alone. Sung-kyung, Soo-an, are the last ones standing as the train derails, leaving them trapped in the wreckage. In a final act of desperation, Soo-an and Sung-kyung make their way through a dark tunnel, where they're met by military forces who can't tell if they're human or zombies. Just as the soldiers are about to open fire, Soo-an begins to sing a song from her recital, a haunting, emotional plea for help. The soldiers realize they're human and rush to their aid, bringing the harrowing journey to a close. And that's how Train to Busan delivers a thrilling ride packed with intense action, heart-wrenching moments, and a powerful message about sacrifice and humanity. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more movie breakdowns and reviews. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.